When you think about the way that this world is going, soon enough, you will see all of these prophecies about the evil of riches come true. Because the way that this world is going is one that will not allow any person to be financially wealthy unless he himself is a crook and a sleazeball, as they say. Because when you look at the trajectory, 50, 60, 80, 100 years ago, manufacturers, working people were building things that work well. Heavy metal cars, heavy machinery, those things that last forever. My grandpa used to have an oven. Well, the oven's still there. Grandpa passed away, but the oven's still there. And that oven still works. Gotta be 60 years old. It's made well. The washing machine from back in the day, oh, those things don't break. Refrigerator, if you got one from the 70s, 80s, probably still going. All it needs is a little tuning every now and then, but it works. We have at the house an air conditioner from 1995. Works better than the ones they sell today. Because everything's gotten so much cheaper in its production value, and yet so much more expensive in its retail price, that it is absolutely ridiculous. It's so cheap. I've seen a video of a guy explaining how to clean an air conditioner unit, and he says there's this one part that's like the core of the air conditioner. It's the fan that spins. It's like a roll. And he says, be very, very careful with this thing. It's so gentle. It's made with such cheap plastic. Yet, if even a tiny speck of it breaks, it's going to be out of balance. And to get a new one will cost you the same price as it would be to buy an entire new air conditioner. About 1,400 shekels. But that's how everything is. Everything is so cheap. Everything is so plastic and nasty. Your car's made of plastic, your washers are plastic, the refrigerator's plastic. Everything's so fragile and disposable. The chairs you buy are cheap. Everything's plastic. And yet, the retail price has been skyrocketing through the roof. My dad told me that he heard about this company that makes pretty much all the lights in the world, the lighters, like the kind of thing that you use to, I don't know if I think it's just called a lighter, really. You press on it, it has a little tank of gas, and then there's a spark. It's called a lighter. So they make pretty much all of them. And they found a way to cut the cost by another fraction by making the plastic so thin, just a micro-nanometer more than the absolute minimum, so the plastic just does not break when you touch it from the pressure of your hand. Just that much more, so that they could fit in another lighter in the shipping box and save a few pennies on shipping. Well, for every box, and they send, millions and billions of boxes, so they can save a lot of money when they make it so cheap. Of course, you're still gonna pay premium price for that. They don't really give you the saving, they keep it for themselves. And so what you're gonna see, and you already are seeing, is the widening gap between the rich and the average person, which soon enough will be poor. Because they make it impossible for people to make an honest living. It's impossible. Because everything's so expensive. If everybody's doing 1,000% markup, then everybody's making a whole lot of money. But what's everybody? Obviously, it's not everybody, because there's always the consumer. And unless that consumer is also a producer himself, another business owner, well, I'll give you an example. I used to sell steam irons. The manufacturer, well, how much does it cost? A few pennies. He sells it for $8. Then it goes 50 for $50. Retail. It's like all of this profit margin. You go to Nordstrom's, you buy a shirt, well, it had on it Ted Baker, so it costs $100, but it was made in China for 10 cents a shirt. So the cost is 10 cents, the retail is $100, the markup is what, like 10 million %? I don't know, you do the math. All the profits go in the markup. So now consumers, people, the average person who pays that kind of price, well, they don't make this kind of money. And so the gap is going to continue to grow so that it will get to the point that the only people that can have money, the only people that are going to be able to be wealthy are crooks. People that manufacture cheap goods and sell them for a lot of money. And not just goods, but services. Advertising companies, oh yes, doesn't really cost them anything, but they sure charge you a whole lot of money for it, don't they? All kinds of appointment services. I've seen it all. Crooks. A whole bunch of crooks. That's how you get rich. You have to buy low and sell high. That's the difference. You keep the margins. If you buy for 99 and sell for 100, you don't really make a whole bunch of money. You're not going to get wealthy. If you want to get wealthy, you got to buy for 20 and sell for 200. But that's called crookedness. That's called theft. That's called illegal gain. Solicit gain. That's called unrighteousness. And the law despises this kind of behavior because it's dishonest. It's taking advantage of people. The Lord likes a just wage, a just scale, a just measuring rod. He likes things to be fair. Sure, you gotta make a living, but how much of a living? If you bought it for 20, why not sell it for 30? Why do you have to sell it for 80? That's just greed, and the Lord despises greed. And yet, that's the direction that we are headed towards. So you gotta give it to the Chinese. They figured out that, well, people want cheap. And people are gonna get cheap either way. They don't want to pay a whole lot. So they got all this Chinese gadget that you buy for pennies. It costs them pennies to make and they sell it for a few pennies more. Because they know people are gonna buy that stuff like nobody's business. They're smart. And you gotta give it to them. It's honest business. They sell junk and you know it's junk. Other people sell junk and you think you got something good. Either way, you're getting junk. If you want something that's not junk, you really gotta pay an arm and a leg. If you want something real good quality, because that's not on the market anymore. That's not for the average person. You gotta go to the petite. And even then, do you really trust them that they're not cutting corners? They probably are, because they too want to get rich. The whole world wants to get rich. Everybody want to get rich. And how do you get rich? Just like I said throughout the whole message. And that's nothing new. Just look at all the Rockefellers and the Carnegies. How did they get rich? Have you ever looked into that? All of that slave labor. Ever heard of slaves? The South? You know? Slave labor. Don't pay the employees, don't pay the workers. They do for free. You keep all the profits. This is not new. But the trajectory of the world is that the noose is tightening. Opportunities are decreasing. And people are ever hungry because there is more opportunity for leisure and pleasure. Well, now you gotta go on all these ski trips, and you gotta go on the cruises, and you gotta travel, and you gotta have this, and you gotta have that. And people want more. And that is the root of all evil, the love of money. So soon enough, you're gonna realize you cannot serve two masters. You're either gonna love one and hate the other, or obey one and betray the other. Therefore, you cannot serve God and money. People that are constantly trying to get rich are not servants of God. They're not Christians. That's not even a word. But we're not. We're not followers of the Mashiach. We're not followers of the Lord. We're not righteous. We're not observing his commandments. And therefore, we're not justified in his sight, which means they're not going to enter his kingdom. Do not be deceived. Not everyone who says, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Just because you profess your faith doesn't really mean anything. Where is the proof? Where is the evidence? Where is the works to testify of your faith? If you're chasing money and constantly care about getting rich, then you have just revealed that the love of God is not in you, but the love of the world. And friendship with this world is enmity with God. You cannot say you love God and love this world, trying to get ahead, trying to make money, trying to get rich. You want to have both a vacation home and go to heaven. It doesn't quite work that way. And it's not about what you really possess, it's about how and why and what are you doing with it. See, somebody can donate you a vacation home for your ministry, that's one thing, but are you wanting it? Are you going after it? Do you have that dream wall? Oh, the dream wall. Just put your dreams in front of you. Manifest destiny. The law of attraction. All of that is idolatry. All of that is of the devil. The lust of the eyes, the pride of life. That's all the devil's old trick from the Garden of Eden. Remember what Eve said about the tree. It looked good for food and desirable to the eye and good for gaining knowledge. Oh. Yeah, and it led to the death of the entire human race. All of these thousands of years of suffering, countless human lives suffering because of that one decision. And that's the decision you want to make? That's who you want to be? Consider these things. Better to be poor financially, to have a piece of bread with a glass of water and have peace with God, than to have all the wealth of the world and end up in hell. I think that sums it up. And the point again is not to demonize property and possessions, because God does provide. The point is your heart. Where is your heart? Yeshua told the young rich ruler, sell everything you got, give to the poor and follow me. He didn't say that to everyone, he said it to him, because his heart was in it. He was hungry. He wanted riches. He had lots of possessions, and his possessions possessed him. So, if you have money and you're a God-loving person, you're generous like Job, you're righteous like Abraham, wonderful. You can do great things with that wealth. I'm just saying that soon enough we're going to start seeing the difference, because you're not going to be able to retain that wealth the way this world is going. You're going to have to start tweaking the law and being sleazy and cheating and lying and conniving, because the world is coming after you and your wealth. And you're going to see it happen in such a mega way. There's going to be a major, vast chasm between the has and the has-nots, the rich and the poor, the greatest gap in history. And it's coming soon. Praise Papa. Rejoice when you see these things, because those are signs of the end. And that is what we are waiting for our Mashiach to come back. Hallelujah.
Guy talked about machinery, manufacturing. Things that were made years ago, made slower, made stronger, made bigger, made better. Compared to the modern mass, fast, instant delivery, productivity, and return policy. Because they are made cheaper, they're made quicker and faster. Anything easy is sleazy. Anything that's quick, you'll have to fix. And yet, his grandpa's oven outlasts grandpa and is working fine. The old air conditioner from 1995, he said. Are you kidding? I've only lived where I lived for 15, 16 years. They've had to replace the oven 3 times. What am I saying? That's not the only thing that's so quick it needs to be fixed. You know, that instant prayer you say these 3 words and you'll be a follower of the Lord. Just come down and just say this, repeat after me, and that's it. You're in. Quick initiations. Really? Paul went away for 3 years and then 14. Took his time, grew. Drug addicts want things quick and fast. You come to God that way. And rather you've been on the real hardcore barbiturates, all of the prescribed and non-prescriptive drugs, psychedelics, weed, nicotine too, obviously alcohol, heroin, bath salts, crystal meth. It doesn't matter. Because some of you are on other things that do the exact same thing. It doesn't it? Because you're not in it to be it. You want the quick bond market, quick options on the stock market, quick junk bonds. You just want to get rich quick as you can, because the sooner you get rich quick and get high, you can have that extreme dopamine flush of murder or lust or greed. You have no long-term vision, only instant, simultaneous gratification. And you can see the difference in those who follow the Lord now to those who followed the Lord when I was growing up. Oh, can you see the difference? I very seldom meet anyone who's truly a follower of the Lord, and I meet thousands. Very seldom do I meet a real believer, sincere. Oh, I meet a lot of church people, a lot of MAGA hat or Christian hat or cross-wearing people. But real followers of God's Torah, of the Mashiach? No. Oh, they know how to fake it. They're posers, dressed like what they're not like. Come to Huntington Beach, California, Orange County, you'll see a lot of people dressed in surf clothes that don't surf. Dress like, but are not like. Talk like, but aren't right, because can't walk like it. Some of these people I've known for 15 years, 20 years, because in the last 30 to 35 years has been a precipitous fall off the cliff of reality, authenticity, and genuine believers. As fake as shake and bake, most of you. That's just the signs of the time. The processed food and the processed believers, processed conservatives, processed women. You're not really women. Processed men. There's even less men. Processed masculinity, camouflage behind tattoos, piercings, testosterone, methylene blue, workout, gym, muscle size. You're not a man. You're less than. Dodgers, Lakers, golf, cigar room smokers. That's not manhood. And God knows you women are not anything close to a woman. All of your eyelashes and bleached weave blonde hair, all of your makeup and cake and layers of it, all of your Botox and liposuctions and every other thing you do to cut, prim, groom, bake, shake, and dye to look like you're alive resembles nothing but death. And you smell like it no matter how much of that perfume you put on you. No, not women. Not Proverbs 31 women. No. And you all, the WWE, Raw, UFC, will not make you a warrior of God. You can fight in a cage, but you can't fight on a bloody field, can you? No. You are the men that run from the fire. And you are the women that kill your own babies and eat men to dominate and destroy them. You are a murderous brew. You're processed, and you won't last. Like that new air conditioning and that new lightweight car, you won't last. All your new technology and all your new fangle-mangle identity is built on sand. It's unsustainable. There's no true bedrock. You won't last. And only those that are in the truth of God's Torah will. May God have mercy on your souls.